Hey everybody, Brandon here, also known as ApprenticeEwok on social media. I want to thank you all for checking out the first episode of the Ewok Adventures Podcast. On today's episode, I will be talking about 2020 and how it was for me as a Star Wars fan. I'll be sharing the top 5 things I enjoyed about this year. So the first thing, number 5, would be finding Star Wars podcasts and content creators. I was in a tough place mentally. I was alone in my apartment right when the pandemic was amping up. So I turned to something that I loved as a child, and that was Star Wars. Listening to different Star Wars podcasts helped me through one of the toughest stretches of my whole life. I found a group of people that I have interactions with daily, and I just know that I have a place to go and geek out about everything Star Wars. The 2 main podcasts and networks that I want to give a shout out to are the Resistance Broadcast and the Beyond the Blast Doors network. They work so hard to produce great content, and they have grown a community that is super supportive of each other and just such a fun group of people to be a part of. Number 4 would be the Clone Wars Season 7. I really enjoyed all of Season 7, but to be specific, the Siege of Mandalore. That arc was awesome. As a fan of the Clone Wars, Rebels, and the prequel trilogy, having Maul versus Ahsoka and having that confrontation where Maul is explaining how everything will go down, it was pure gold. The emotional weight of Season 7 in the last couple scenes, it made waiting for Season 7 of the Clone Wars well worth it. They did a really good job of rewarding fans for waiting so long. So next would be just getting into Star Wars novels and comic books. I started to read the canon timeline and a couple of the Legends books, the Heir to the Empire trilogy, Darth Plagueis, but I really enjoyed reading the canon novels. I've read about 20 of them. I read, I think, around 25 Star Wars books this year. So just exploring those characters and stories more deeply has been awesome. The comic books are beautiful, and it's so cool to see characters kick ass that we don't usually get to see on screen. I have the Darth Maul and Darth Vader comic books, Charles Soule, the Charles Soule Darth Vader, and it's just so cool to see him interact with Palpatine and see Vader be a badass. And then number 2 would be moving home and being able to watch and enjoy Star Wars with my family. Watching Star Wars with my mom, she's the one who introduced me to Star Wars. I watched the original trilogy with her. It has been amazing to watch The Mandalorian with her because she asked me questions about Star Wars. She's like, well, who's this character? So it was really cool to talk to her about Bo-Katan, and help her realize that it was Boba Fett that was coming back, and see her face kind of light up when Luke Skywalker came back. I think they did a really good job of integrating the characters into the story, even though that they're kind of introducing them for projects in the future. But the season 2 of The Mandalorian was just amazing. But I'm really happy I got to share it with my family. So next up would be my honorable mention, and that's just jumping in and trying to do this whole YouTube thing. I started by making top five video lists on YouTube, but pretty soon I noticed that I wanted to do more game streaming, so I started streaming Star Wars games to help me pass my time. The people that I have met there have been very supportive of my streaming, and they're so great and are always willing to check out a stream and talk to me in the live chats. I've taken some time off from doing the streaming. I got a new desktop, so I'm going to get back into a little bit, but I know I haven't done anything significant with my YouTube or Twitch channels, but I never in a million years thought that I would have over 2,500 Twitter followers and a YouTube channel that has over 500 subscribers with over 10,000 views. I have a lot to learn when it comes to content creation and streaming, but I'm having fun doing it and I'm loving it. So it's helped me through a year that I wasn't sure that I was going to get through at some points. And then, so with that is my number 1, and that was going to Galaxy's Edge. I went to Galaxy's Edge in March, the weekend before it closed down due to the pandemic. It was an amazing experience, and it was awesome to be around other people that were geeking out about everything in the land. I built my own droid. I built my own lightsaber. I got to ride the Millennium Falcon and the Rise of the Resistance, which I'm so happy I took the time to try to get on it. And then I finished up my experience by watching the fireworks over Black Spire. It was the first ever vacation I had taken on my own. I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I spent all the money that I did. I didn't know when I would ever get a chance like that again. So I want to thank everybody who has been involved with Galaxy's Edge and creating that park, because it really was an amazing experience. I wish that I had all the money to just go buy everything. But those are my top 5/6 things that I really enjoyed about this year. Obviously there are more things. I could get into the details about how much I loved The Mandalorian and the Clone Wars and doing my game streaming, but I just wanted to, test this out and have a little introduction to the new podcast. I'm not sure what it will turn into, but I'm excited. And if anybody has any recommendations or any tips or anything, I'm open to it. I've always wanted to start my own podcast, but I haven't had the resources to do so. But I've got a new computer. I've got a setup that I'm actually, proud of, that I can be capable with. But if you haven't, I would appreciate if you take the time and subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on Twitch. I will have the linked tree to all my sites in the description of this video, so that'll make finding all of my social media pages much easier. But I want to thank you all again for checking out the Ewok Adventures Podcast, and may the Force be with you all, and have a happy new year.